What's up, guys? Chemist here from Meanwhile in the Man Cave, and we take a look at all things pop culture, games, toys, or anything we think is cool. And today, we are taking a look at the Todd McFarlane DC Multiverse Flash movie version of Supergirl. This version of Supergirl represents an alternate timeline version of the superhero and is an amalgamation of two different alternate timeline versions of Superman, Flashpoint Superman and Red Sun Superman. These two stories showed how history could have been very different if the Kent family hadn't found and adopted Kal-El. With this version of Supergirl, she was still sent to Earth to take care of the last son of Krypton, Kal-El. But Kal-El never made it to Earth and was intercepted on the way and killed as an infant before he could become Superman by General Zod. By the time Supergirl finally crashed to Earth, she was captured and tortured and kept powerless by the Russian military. This Supergirl meets an unfortunate end when General Zod kills her as she attempts to help Batman and the Flash defend this alternate Earth from destruction by General Zod. Starting off, taking a quick look at the box, the normal Todd McFarlane fare here. Preview of the character on the front. Titled Flash Movie down here on the bottom. Not much to see on the side. Little Supergirl artwork on the back. And again, not much to see on the side except for the title of the character. Let's stop wasting time on this box and bust Supergirl out of this kryptonite prison. Inside the box, you got the collector's card, and you have a flight stand, as you should with any Superman, Supergirl, or Green Lantern figure. They should all have this flight stand in there, so I'm glad to see that this one does. And a brief overview of what you're going to get in this package. Not a whole lot. You're getting basically a couple extra hands and Supergirl herself. So let's get a closer look. Not much to see here. You got an open right hand and a fisted left. And Supergirl herself. All right, so I know it's hard. It's hard to base, a face on a real character rather than in a comic book. I'm going to be a little more fussy with this one. I don't like the skin tones with this, first of all. To me, the skin tones aren't very good, and the hair needs to be darker. The hair is not dark enough on this. The suit looks pretty good, though. I like the texture on that. That's nice enough. The cape is made out of a nice heavy-duty material. It doesn't feel plasticky, it's more of a rubber. It's unfortunate they couldn't put a wire in there, though. Make that posable. But the look of the cape is nice. All right, let's start off with that articulation. We're going to start off with her head. You got your left and right motion. Some tilting back and some forward. The forward's pretty good. You could have her in a flight motion coming down in a vertical position, but as far as if you're going to have her flying horizontal, it's gonna be tough. I'd like her to be able to look forward more, and that's the one problem with a lot of these McFarlane figures. Their head doesn't tilt back quite enough. Now, Marvel Select did that Captain America. He's not a flying character, but his head does tilt back pretty nice. You can angle her head. That's cool as well. Her arms, lateral movement, and your forward and back, I should say, there. At the shoulder, you've got the swivel. Actually, you got some swiveling there at the shoulder too. That's kind of nice. There's decent range of motion up there, as well as between the shoulder and the bicep. So pretty good range of motion there. You got your double elbow joint, of course, like on most Todd McFarlane's. You got the hinge at the wrist, as well as you can turn her fist around. At her abdomen, you can twist at the abdomen, as well as crunch. She has a decent amount of crunch there. It's kind of hard to see with a cape, but she does have a decent amount of crunch. And for leaning back too. Not exactly bending over backwards, but it's a good range of motion. Also at her waist, got that joint as well. At her legs, lateral movement, forward kick, and somewhat back. Double knee joint, as with most of these Todd McFarlane's. Down here at her foot, that does rotate like on a ball joint, so you can angle that foot, as well as back, forward, and your toe joint. That should be the same on the other side. We're going to get Supergirl into some poses, and I'm going to let you know what I think. So, I got to tell you, as well as this figure articulates, I found it difficult to get her into poses that I was satisfied with. You definitely need to use a figure stand. She has a hard time standing without one, and that's mainly due to the weight of that cape. Very heavy, makes her very heavy at the back, so she tends to want to fall over backwards. So you're definitely going to need that if you're going to have her in a standing pose. My other problem, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, it's the face. Hair definitely should have been darker. Skin tones are just wrong to me. And in the movie, she tends to have a PO'd look on her face a lot. That's the look that we probably should have had on this figure as well, to me. Or if they'd included an alternate head with the glowing red eyes, that could have been good too. I mean, this figure hardly came with any accessories. So I don't know how hard it would have been to include that. So, I mean, bottom line here is, unless you're getting this figure at a deep discount, I would say this figure is ultimately a pass. So, I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you very much for your support. It's very much appreciated. If you can, please give us a like and subscribe. It does help other people find our videos. And please come back every Tuesday at 9 a.m. for a brand new episode of Meanwhile in the Man Cave. I'll talk to you guys later.